What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So Democrats continue to do well when we're looking at the generic ballot overall. Also, when we're looking at this AI model that we created to show or to predict who is going to win the 2026 midterm election. And so I'm going to show you all the information. This is week 7, I believe, week 7 of our little experiment that we're doing. And Democrats are outperforming Republicans, and the predicted seat increase has changed. So we're going to talk about all that in this video. But first off, if you guys can do me a favor, please like the video. And if you're watching this video and you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing to the channel. Okay, so let's go ahead and get right over to our information here. Now remember how we're doing this. This is an AI model. And what I've done is I've trained this AI model to make a prediction. And so we're taking historical information that in the past has shown positive results when it comes to elections. And so just going over those historical factors, let's take a look at the first one here. It says generic ballot. Second one's presidential job approval. Third one is the economy. Fourth one, special elections. And then the fifth one is seats at risk. Now, what we've done with this is we are taking this information where some of the information is coming from Real Clear Politics, coming from a different Decision Desk HQ. We're taking this information, we're taking the information regarding the economy, and we're putting that in a formula. You put that in a formula, and then that spits out a number. That number corresponds with how many seats we think Democrats will be able to gain in the 2026 midterms. And so that's how this model works. Now, we've done another model. So we're doing this model for the House of Representatives. We have another model that we've done for the Senate. Okay, so watch both those videos. And if you guys can do me a favor, share these videos. Share these with your family and friends because that does help with the algorithm. And I'm trying to really get this information out because I want this experiment to go up against pollsters. I want it to go up against some of the other prediction websites that are out there and see if we're close, if we're in the ballpark when it comes to making prediction. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the first one here, generic ballot. So this is Real Clear Politics. That's where we're getting this information from. 5.2%. Okay, so 5.2%. That is the generic ballot for Democrats, plus 5.2%. So what that means is Democrats, if you're just looking at a generic ballot when it comes to Congress, Democrats have an advantage by plus 5.2%. Okay, presidential job approval. This is coming from Ballotpedia. And right now, presidential job approval is at 42%. So 42% of the American people that were polled are saying that Trump is doing a good job. However, that means that 48% of the American people are saying that Trump is doing a bad job or a poor job. So you have more people that are saying President Trump is doing a bad job than a good job. Okay, looking at the economy. Now, this is one that we're going to have to keep coming back to because we know October numbers, we didn't get October numbers. And we might not get October numbers. So our current administration is saying that they're not going to give out that information. And so maybe in November, fingers crossed, November we'll get that information. But as of right now, things haven't really changed too much. GDP is showing at 3.8%. CPI, so inflation, is showing at 3%. And then unemployment did tick up. So we did get information from unemployment. It's 4.4%. Okay, now that's back for September. So we still don't have information for October. And so here, right here, this is the formula that we're talking about when they do the calculations. And I'll talk about all that at the very end. It'll all make sense. Special elections. Okay, special elections, what the AI model did. And every week I run the AI model and it will tell me what the changes are. So in this category, it did change. It ticked it down. So it was at 3.5%. Okay, it was plus 3.5%. Seats at risk. And we're talking about special elections, okay? So now it ticked down. It ticked back down to 3%. And then I asked AI, okay, well, why did you tick down? Why did you change from 3.5% to 3%? And this is harder for us to gauge, okay? Because we're talking about special elections. Special elections, we have a special election coming up tomorrow. And so when we see those, just depending on the margin of victory, that's when we're looking at special elections and saying, okay, this favors Democrats or this favors Republicans. A good example of this is in Tennessee. We'll have this race tomorrow. We want to see what's the margin. First off, can a Democrat win in Tennessee? So if Bain is able to win in Tennessee, and in the same district in Tennessee that President Trump had a 22-point win in Tennessee, if she is able to win, that's flip. That's a huge flip there. And so what we're focused on is that margin. President Trump won by 22 points. Can the Republican win by, and I said this before, 17 points or win by 15 points? If the Republican can win by that margin, well, then when we're looking at the special election, it doesn't really favor Democrats that much. However, if we have a single-digit lead, if we have a single-digit win for the Republican, then now we're looking at, let's say it's 7 points or 8 points. Now we're looking at a situation where this does favor Democrats because they did a lot better than they did in 2024. And so that's what we're going to be focused on when it comes to special elections. But as you can see, you have different special elections going on at different times. And right now, the AI model is saying that +3 for Democrats is better than the plus 3.5. Okay, so it ticked down just a little bit for Democrats. Okay, next category here, seats at risk, +6 for Democrats. And what they're looking at here is they're using the Cook Political Report, and they're using the toss-up seats. And right now, Democrats have 6 toss-up seats. Republicans have 12 toss-up seats. And so that favors Democrats +6 because Democrats have less toss-up seats than Republicans do. So when we're looking at the seats at risk, if you're looking at toss-ups and you're saying, well, those seats can go either way, you want to be on the side where you have less seats that are toss-ups than your opponent. If your opponent has more, then you have that advantage. And so that's what that +6 is. Okay, so let's go ahead and move down and we'll take a look at the final calculation here. So looking at the final calculation, this is the number here. So after doing the calculation here, this is a number that you come up with. It's +4.59. Okay, you're saying 4.59. What does that mean? So if you take every point is equivalent to 10 seats. Okay, so if we do the calculations, we can move on down here. We see that Democrats now, the prediction is showing that Democrats will win +46 seats. Okay, so that is what that all means. Now, I want to show you we'll go back to week 1. Okay, so going back to week 1, we saw Democrats had an advantage of 11 seats. And so the projection was that Democrats would win 11 seats. Week 2, Democrats were projected to win 20 seats. Week 3, Democrats were projected to win 21 seats. Week 4, Democrats were projected to win 36 seats. Week 5, Democrats were projected to win 40 seats. Week 6, Democrats were projected to win 45 seats. And now we're into week 7, Democrats are projected to win 46 seats. And so you see Democrats are on the rise here. Okay, momentum is building. It started at 11 seats and now we're up to 46 seats. And so for Democrats, this is good news. We're seeing this momentum on their side. We're not seeing the same thing on the Republican side. As a matter of fact, you have the Speaker of the House talking about how exhausted he is. You have other members, other Republican members in the House talking about they want to retire. Or they're going to retire early. Or they're not going to run for re-election. All of this stuff matters because they're seeing the same stuff that we're looking at. They're seeing the polling. They're seeing these different models that are coming out and showing that Democrats have a huge advantage. And some Republicans might look at this. Some Republicans in the House might look at this and say, you know what? I don't want to be in the House if we are not controlling it. So if you don't have Speaker Johnson, you don't have Republicans controlling the House, some of these Republicans don't want to be there. Why? Because they're not going to be able to, they have no power. They're not going to be able to get anything done. And some Republicans are thinking, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, not only am I going to retire, but I'm going to retire early because I'm going to show this as a protest to what's going on in my own party. And so we're going to have to really watch this closely to see how this plays out, because another thing that's being talked about now, the possibility of this is not, I mean, at this point, it's probably not going to happen. It's not likely that this would happen, but you do have some Republicans that are saying, you know what, I might resign early, and that could shift the power from Republicans to Democrats in the House of Representatives, which means Speaker Johnson will no longer be Speaker, and then you'll have Hakeem Jeffries come in as a Democrat as the new Speaker of the House. So that could potentially happen. Now, I'm saying this, it's not likely, but you do have some Republicans that are talking behind closed doors and saying, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done with this, and I want to move on. And we just saw another House member saying that he is going to be resigning. And so right now, some Republicans have cornered themselves. And another thing, when it comes to maybe resigning or not wanting to run for re-election again, some Republicans are looking at the current policies. They're looking at the things that are going on right now, and they know if they're running again, they have to defend President Trump's record. And that's going to be very, very hard, because President Trump has been all over the place with these different executive orders and all of this stuff. They're going to have to defend that. They're going to have to defend tariffs. They're going to have to defend the affordability crisis that we're in right now. And it's going to be very hard for them to do that. And do you want to be on record? Let's just say you want to have a political future. Do you want to be on record defending some of these policies that are clearly not working? You have the president right now saying that things are affordable, that the prices are way down, inflation is way down. All of this stuff is way down. He'll say, oh, beef is still up, but we're going to go ahead and take care of that. But everything else is down. All those prices are down. Do you really want to be that politician that is defending that, knowing that's not true, knowing that your constituents are coming at you and saying, look, prices of products are going up. Grocery prices are going up. And you have the president saying they're going down. Do you believe the president, or do you believe your constituents? And so it's going to be very hard for politicians to actually defend that. But the bottom line is, right now, Democrats are doing much better than Republicans are doing in the House of Representatives. When we're looking at the Senate, that's a little bit different. The Senate is, Republicans have a huge advantage in the Senate. And so we might not see a flip in the Senate. But if we're looking at the House of Representatives right now, it looks like it's going to be a flip, and it could be a very big victory for the Democrats come 2026 midterm election. So I want to know what you guys think. Do you think Democrats have a huge advantage in the House of Representatives? Do you think we'll see 40 seats? Do you think we'll see even more? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye. So that's all we have for this video. Make sure if you guys want to send me an email, you can do that, david@thetecshow.com. Like the video, subscribe for more, and check out these videos over here for some more great content. Talk to you later. Bye.